Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another Ninja Chris casts. I am Ninja Chris. This is another cast. This was suggested to me by Dota 2 Cast It. We have an all-pick game mode. We just finished our draft phase, which is relatively quick as usual.
The game's about to begin.
Alright, we have Kawa on the gyrocopter. We have
and everything in yourself you feel weak and insecure about, and you should be fine.
I need to change that announcer. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's go back to the norm, huh? We've got we have... Oh, he moved on me. Interesting. We have Zip Kid on the Ursa. We have Hitchrum, I believe, on the Tiny. We have Inspector Detector on the Warlock. We have Athicus on the Shadow Fiend.
30 seconds
we have Golden Delicious Honey Squids. I'm just going to call him Squids on the Tide Hunter. We have Love Ginny on the Juggernaut. We have Strawberry Cookie on the Omni Knight. Kawa on the Gyrocopter. Finally, an easy little name. And we have Redif. I'm going to call him Red. I'm not going to deal with this. And we have... Oh, these pub scrubs. Nice. I'm going to call him Nice.
Battle begins.
Nice oldie on the top lane. Alright, nice little startup going on. We've got the Ursa checking out for the bottom rune. We have the Shadow Fiend as usual going mid. Got a nice little block going on. Pudge going top, completely missing his block. Nah, kind of wish that would have been a little bit different start. But hey, whatever happens. At least the Ursa is not going and protecting on that. On the invisibility rune. And we have some wards being dropped down by the Lion on the top lane. Does he have the other... Where did the other ward go? Not finding that other ward. I heard it drop. Interesting. Okay, well either way, we've got a nice little setup going on. Lion going to go stack the creeps, or pull the creep lane back. Love Jenny going for natural CS and all of that. Interesting little... Is this a tri-lane? 1, 2, 3. We have an intended tri-lane for the Radiant going on down here. So we'll see if they happen to pull the first blood out of this, especially because they've got... I wouldn't say true... Oh, there comes the stun going onto the Kawa. And they're going on to the Gyrocopter. He's starting to go down, but it looks like he's going to get out of it. Yep. They all decided back, and Cookie taking a little slap on the ass just on the way out. The Shadow Fiend still kind of just pushing in the lane on mid. Tide Hunter holding his own. He's only up to level 2, but we're only about a minute and a half in. Still, for some reason, I was expecting level 3 out of this. Tiny's still pushing all the way up into the lane. Not a bad little start. Radiant definitely shooting for that first blood, obviously, but I just don't know if they're going to get it anymore. I will say that anytime anybody ever has to pop a clarity or a mana potion is always a good sign, just because you had to force that out. So nice little startup there at very least. Finally, we have a little bit of a Radiant ward drop on the bottom rune. Not sure where the other the ward is though. Not finding it. Oh. Interesting little push. I'm surprised that they had to do that, especially because they only have to deal with the solo Tide. That would have been much more presentable toward a rune, or at least replacing the top rune. Shadow Fiend picking at it, bottling the haste rune, returning to lane. Not sure what Warlock is doing though. Perhaps he wants to. He's not going to go for a gank. He doesn't have a sentry. He's got his secondary ward. He's just going to drop it on the top ward, or the top rune. Tide Hunter going back up onto the top lane. We still have the kind of sort of tri-lane. Oh, we have the Tiny going on the stun. Looks like he got the Omni Knight, but there was no follow-up or initiation. Ursa finally working on his level 2, definitely starting up his Vladimir's offering, popping a salve, just trying to stay back in lane. Warlock finally returning, and... Was that the Shadow Fiend? He's definitely going in on it. Is he going to get it, though? He's got 2 more charges. Looks like he's diving for it. Is he going to get the first blood? And not just yet. He's forcing the... Ooh, bad Shadow Rays going on there. But, ooh, he started the... He forced out the hook. But he's going to get back out fine. No first blood given up just yet. Bad Shadow Rays. But definitely showing some aggression. Ooh, hits him right on the mark with that one, though. And is he gonna go for the hook? He is gonna pull him right back in, and this is gonna be first blood. There he goes. Shadow Fiend drops to the Pudge. Pudge getting a well-deserved first blood out of that, especially out of the earlier jukes from the Shadow Fiend. So at least they don't have to worry about that anymore. What's he gonna pick up for that? No idea just yet, but he's not finding a. Is he going for a gank, or is he going for a rune? He's not finding a rune. He's a little low on health. I wouldn't go in for this, especially because he can't hook. Interesting little icon going on there. I didn't expect that change in the rot icon, but hey, cool. DD rune up top, so it looks like the Shadow Fiend is going to try and beat him to that. We have the Tidehunter moving in. Is he finally? He's 6. Excuse me, he's 5.5 right now. I was curious if he was about to hit 6. We got double rune wards going on at the top lane, so Radiant's definitely got a bigger advantage there, even though, of course, the Pudge getting the first blood, he has to, walk all the way back to base. Excuse me, this is Shadow Fiend's time just to push back into the lane. It looks like we got a little bit of fight going on in the tri lane down here, though, but everybody gets forced back. Ursa, he gets his mask, but he's still working on that Vladimir's. We'll see if he's able to pull anything out of this. Pudge going bottom lane, trying to see what he can try and gank out of this, though. Picking up the smoke. Is under attack. Let's see if we can get a hook out of this. He sees the Omni Knight. No, excuse me, Omni Knight's on his own team. Here comes a hook. No, not just yet. Shadow Fiend pushing all the way in, though. This might not be worth it unless the Pudge actually gets a kill out of this. It's definitely not worth losing a tower just for a single kill. So, is he going to find? There he goes. Here's the kill. And there goes Ursa. Easy come, easy go. Up 2-0. Not a bad start for the Pudge. However, I don't know if he's gonna lose this tower eventually. Shadow Fiend just pushing as much as he can, but is he gonna hook out of it? And
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, faking it, getting him, and he's got the level 6. Why didn't? Oh, because he didn't have the ult up. Don't follow him around with that. Is he gonna stop him? Is he gonna stop him? And come on, waiting for it, waiting for it. Waiting for it. Wait, there he goes. Pudge finally getting the kill. All right, we're going back down to the bot lane where we're worrying about the 2-on-2. It used to be a tri lane, but it looks like did they circulate? No, it was just the Shadow Fiend. Okay, it's just the Ursa going right back to farming again. He's not really getting a whole out of this, especially because his Vladimir's was delayed a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I'm still stuck on that long wait for the Pudge hook. That was hilarious. I enjoyed that a lot. But we do have the Tide up to 6. No mana though, but at least he finished his energy booster. So Boot's coming up on him soon, and then we'll see some big initiation on the Radiant side. The red actually starting to come. Is he gonna? He's gonna gank around. Looks like he's gonna try. See if they can pick off this. On the Golden Delicious, and are we waiting for the hook? We're waiting for the hook, and nope, he's just gonna ult on top of him, and bam, final hits. We got 3 on it, and it looks like we just missed the Gyrocopter getting a kill on the bottom lane, so we're up to 5-0 on the side of the Dire. Not a bad start. Great little start over here. I mean, Pudge is up 4-0. This is not a hero you want to give points into, especially with his passive, just kicking in whenever he needs to, and it just automatically stacks. But the Shadow Fiend does get the middle tower finally. Oh, nope, not going to work. Actually, I'm a little surprised that we actually dipped back down direct on 0 with the experience graph. The gold graph, very heavy toward the Radiant, excuse me. We've got the Dire on taking a massive experience, but Radiant taking all of the gold. Very interesting. Back onto the bottom lane, we have the Courier just dropping off a simple little bracer. We have a teleport coming out. Nope, Gyrocopter gets out just in time before the Tidehunter pops his ult on top of him and stops him, unfortunately. He should have done a little bit earlier. He would have got him right through the trees. But, I mean, it's not like he didn't see it coming. Oh, we have I saw the red cape of the Warlock in the map. I thought he was Dire there for a minute. We got 4 Radiant bot. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. I mean, they're getting spotted out. Omni Knight should be totally backing up out of this right now. And there he goes. Little delayed, but he finally gets himself out safe and sound. Completely uncontested top. We've got 2 pushing in. We've got 1 pushing in on the mid. And we've got the rest bot. And are they going to go in? No, they are not going to go in on the tiny. I mean, he's got a nice little stun, but so does the gyrocopter. So a little bit of either miscommunication or just, you know, everybody's kind of all over the place right now. Tidehunter finally returning to the lane, doing a little bit of harassing, but he's not going to get anything out of this. Shadow Fiend pushing right back into the lane. He definitely wants to see if he could, excuse me, push all the way into the tower. Here comes the Pudge. He's smoked up, but he loses the smoke because of the closeness of the Ursa. Is he going to throw the hook? Is he going to do it? He's waiting for just the right time. Gyro decides to pop in his rocket, whiffed hit, but that's okay. He should have waited for that rocket to hit. Probably didn't know about it. Nice little kill for the gyrocopter, though, picking up that Ursa. Ursa still probably doesn't have his, no, he's nowhere near his, he had 1,200 gold, but he didn't decide to work on the Vladimirs at all. Very interesting. We've got the Warlock and the Tiny still on the bot lane, but Dire's got 4. Oh, is he going to get the hook? He gets it on the Warlock. Nicely done, and there goes another kill. Tiny not being able to do much against it, though. We got 4 pushing in against this, and then the Lion's just going to sap all the rest of it. Nope, he's not going to sap any more of the mana, just push into the tier 1. Simple little kills. That's all they need. I mean, they're up 7-0. I mean, sure, they lost their first tower mid, but, I mean, I would like to see the Dire pushing a little bit more, taking advantage of what they've got, especially because they had 4 bot. I mean, come on. You got to kill, and all it was a simple little... was it the Tiny? I guess it was the Tiny remaining, but come on, guys. You've got a little bit more strength than that. Push in on the tower and take something out of it. You're definitely earning it. Take what you've earned is what I guess I'm trying to say here. We got a DD Rune bot. Looks like the Shadow Fiend's going to go after it. He's definitely got the... Yeah, they got the ward on it, so he's just going to pick that up and go potentially right back into the bottom lane. Is he going to do that? The Pudge scouting it out. He's not going to see it, though, unfortunately. Dire... Well, no, Dire had a ward on it, but... I don't know. Pudge just was a little slow back to the party after TPing back in. So, let's see what's going to happen. We got the solo Lion top, but other than that, so we've got 4 Dire roughly on the bottom. Are we going to have a little bit of a fight here? It looks like they might try and push in on this, see what they can do, especially because the Tidehunter's starting to initiate in. See what he can spot out of this. We've got the Gyro coming in, and the Pudge is gonna jump and then miss his hook. So he's just gonna sit there for a few more seconds. Not a whole lot going on, just a couple of whiffed attempts here and there, but overall just very slow game. Ursa deciding to not work on his Vladimirs and instead finish his boots. He picks up his phase boots instead. Get that little bit of damage, but I don't know. I would have liked to have seen him start that Vladimir. He's about to hit 8. He could definitely be soloing that Roshan and push back some of the momentum that they need. Take this fight back, but yeah, just it's not happening. Oh, there goes the courier. I was a little surprised there for a second. I was like, I see the courier. I wasn't sure if they were going to attack it. I thought no. I spaced out. Thought it was their own for a minute. Finally getting, I mean, Dire just pushing their lead. They get the courier, they get the first 7 kills, and... Oh, here comes the hook right onto the Shadow Fiend. He's going to get the hook, but no follow-up for the ult. Come on, Budge. You can do better than that. We all know you can. Ursa pushing back up onto the top lane. There's a...
Radiant's bottom tower
spotting out the haste rune for the rest of the team. Shadow Fiend picking it up, so he's got a DD and a haste rune. This is a very dangerous Shadow Fiend. I missed the gyrocopter kill. I am very sorry about that. Gyro taking out the Tidehunter. Up 8-0. Did he even pop his ult for that? No, he didn't pop his ult. So Shadow Fiend and the Warlock pushing into the middle lane. He's got a DD Rune, but we've got the Pudge sniffing around where he shouldn't be. Nowhere near the rest of his team. He's got no ward coverage. He's got nothing. I don't know what he's searching for over here, but he's just barely going to miss the Warlock. And he's going to get the hook onto that. Is he going to get the stun off? No, he's not going to get the stun off either, especially because the Shadow Fiend he pops his haste as quickly as he can just to get right back out of there. So, more whiffed opportunities on the Pudge, unfortunately. No ultimate follow-up, but that could have definitely been a kill. And it would even put his... I don't know if it would have taken off the Tiny finally getting a kill on the board, pushing into the bottom lane. We've got the 3 pushing in, and he even took out the gyrocopter. So very well done for the Tiny finally. Very sorry about the missed kills, unfortunately. Not intended. See if I can do a better job at that. We've got 4 rotating bot, not bot. We've got 2 mid and 2 bot lane. Gyrocopter still out of the fight, but for the most part, we've got. Well, I don't know where Shadow Fiend is going. Is he dropping a ward? Nah, I missed that. Didn't see where the ward went placed down. But either way, Ursa's still working on. He's not working on the Vladimirs yet. We've got the Tidehunter coming in right on top of the Pudge, and he sees him and walks away. He probably thought that was just an illusion. Very sloppy play. Did he get the hook? He did not get the hook. He blinked on top of him, but he didn't get anything out of it. What do we have here going on bot? We got the Tiny pushing in against the Gyrocopter and the Omni Knight. Looks like the Radiant's rotating down to try and see if they can take something out of this. Shadow Fiend's going to pick up the Illusion Rune. I heard a hook attempt. I don't know what he found. He didn't find anything out of that. Radiant pushing onto the top lane, but Dire pushing back onto the bottom lane. Actually, no, my mistake. I'm talking faster than my eyes can think. We see a hooked attempt on the Tidehunter. He gets him, and he finally gets the ult off, and he's going to pick off the Tidehunter. Not a bad go. Well done on that there, Pudge. Finally comboing in with the hook. And Tidehunter doesn't even have a Blink Dagger yet, so little disappointing. But I mean, that's what you kind of have to expect out of the support, or out of a position 4. He's just trying to work on whatever he can out of this right now. Lion pushing back in the lane, trying to get it equalized toward the middle. We've got the Radiant pushing in toward the bottom lane, though. Kawa just clearing up the lane. Going right back into pub mode. Not a whole lot going on right now. Just kind of waiting for the smoke to clear. And, I mean, there wasn't even a big fight out of this. Everybody's just going right back to farming as usual. We have the Tidehunter TPing back in. He's going to get spotted out by the ward, but, I mean, still not a whole lot going on. Very offensive ward, but I don't know. Unless one of those trees goes down, I don't like that spot. I mean, it makes sense, but only with the Pudge, and the Pudge is nowhere near it. So hey, whatever. We have the Ursa. He's past level 9. Now the Gyrocopter dropping his ultimate, and so is the Tidehunter dropping his as well. But absolutely nothing happening out of it. Actually, we've got a kill coming back out of this. We've got the Juggernaut taking down the Warlock, and okay, just a little bit more poking and fighting here and there. Gyrocopter did go down. I did miss that earlier. Not my best casting. Hopefully, I'll pick it up later on. The Tiny trying to back out as best as he can. The Shadow Fiend taking out, split pushing on the top in the middle of all the chaos. But it looks like the Tidehunter is absolutely going to go down. And just waiting for it, and he's going to get him. There he goes, and they're even going to work on the Ursa. Double kill. Well done on the Pudge. So they got all 5 bot. I mean, Shadow Fiend's pushing top solo. Is anybody going to TP top? Looks like the Pudge might. He's potentially going to push top, but right now they're happy with their double kills. They're just going to take the tier 1 bot and potentially just back off. Unless they decide to go greedy. I mean, they're up 212. Why wouldn't they? We got to... Oh, he even gets the Warlock. I didn't even see him on the map. The Tiny jumping into the bot lane towards the tier 2. But if I were him, I'd back out. They're just feeding up this Pudge right now. He's getting plenty of kills out of this, but I would like to see it. Is he going to get it? There we go. Now we got it picked up. Ursa returning back to the middle lane. The Shadow Fiend still on the top lane. We got a 3 on the tri-lane bot for the Dire side. And where Ursa is charging... Oh, he's just getting that. Okay. Ursa, do you have your... No, he still doesn't have it. He worked on the blink instead, I guess. Excuse me. Alright, so we've got a little bit more power coming up on the Radiant. A lot of them starting to... We've got the Shadow Demon with the Shadow Blade. So it looks like they're absolutely looking for a little bit more fight initiation going on right now. Dire... conglomerating is the word I was looking for, and toward the middle lane. Potentially going to fight back against this Tide. He doesn't have his ult for another 20 seconds, but I don't know if Dire knows that or anything. Probably you're not watching that kind of a timer. I mean, just checking out the Roche pit, seeing what he can find. And Radiant going right back to farming. Dire's expecting a fight, but they're not going to do anything about it. The Pudge. Oh, here we go. There goes the Shadow Blade. They're going to see if they can pick off the Pudge, and Waiting for the initiation. There goes the slow on top of him, and a bunch of right clicks coming down to the Pudge. Omni Knight finishes him off. The Lion gets the pick on the Tidehunter, and a great reinitiation going back down. The Tidehunter dropping like a fly. The Juggernaut about to go down as well, and we're down 1-1 on each team. Lion gets a kill on the Shadow Fiend, and a hook goes in on top of the Gyrocopter, and we've got kills all over. 3 on the Radiant side dropping, and Dire just can't get anything. Omni Knight just keeping him right back up onto the full health. They got the Tiny. He's interesting little juke, unintended, but it's gonna work. Pudge just, he's flirting with disaster, trying to take on a Tiny with so little in health and mana. I'm actually a little surprised Tiny didn't try and go back onto that Pudge. He could have easily wiped him, but he was potentially just a little afraid. Tidehunter coming right back into the lane again, but he's only level 9. He's still got 100. He had 120 seconds, 150 seconds. No, 150 seconds on that on his ultimate. So they're not going to be able to reinitiate as well anytime soon, especially because of the Shadow Fiend getting picked off like that. Well done once again on the Omni Knight. Ursa rotating to the top lane, seeing if he can get some farm back out of this. Earn the gold back from the TP scroll. We got a lot of wards back on the Dire side, offensive wards going toward the ward and toward the rune, and a double ward right on the bottom. Here we go. We got a little bit of a fight going on. The Pudge taking out the Tidehunter. I heard the hook. Sorry, I came as fast as I could. Pushing right back in. Telling the Tidehunter, you know what? Sit back down. You're all by yourself. Why are you way out here by yourself like that? We'll take the kill, and we'll just go ahead and push right back in. Omni Knight spotting out the haste rune. Pudge picking it back up, filling his bottle right back up. We could see another reinitiation toward the tier 1 mid here. I think we're going to get it, especially with the Lion pushing as much as he can. Omni Knight not getting the hint to back out. I guess they're trying to spot out the Warlock, but looks like they're easily going to just take the tier 1 mid. Tiny can't do anything against that. They see the ward, they take it right back out. Was that a shadow? No, it must have just been the tower. We see the nice little gyrocopter rocket taking out that. Now we have a Warlock dropping as well, and we've got another set of kills coming up. It looks like the Tidehunter's going to fall as well. Bunch of damage coming in from the Tiny, but he's not going to do enough until the Pudge is going to finish him off first, but almost took out that Gyrocopter. That was actually very close. Well done to the to the Pudge for saving his buddy there. And they're just going to push in further. The Shadow Fiend's gets caught out, but he has to pop the Shadow Blade just to get back out of the fight. Pudge just going to rot it up, take on whatever he can. I don't know if the Shadow Fiend should try anything out of this. He looked like he wanted to. He wanted some revenge, but he's not going to get it. Warlock coming back into the fight, and they're just going to reallocate on top of the middle tower. Take what they can. They're up 3-21. Massive leads going on, but gold is barely dipped back into Dire only because of all the kills recently. Massive experience lead, but other than that, it's I don't know. The gold is still in favor of the Radiant overall. I mean, it took a long time for them to even back out. So Radiant absolutely having a chance to come back into this fight. It's very early on. 1 kill a minute for the Dire, but I don't know. I see a lot of late game potential. You got the Tiny, you got the Shadow Fiend, you got the Ursa, you got the Tidehunter, Shadow Fiend. I wanted to say the Tiny and the Ursa. So we've got a lot of late game potential. All they got to do is keep their heads up high, and they might just pull something out of this. But we got to give them some time. Finally, the Ursa going in, but he's only got a mask. He doesn't have the Vladimir's. Little surprised at the delay, but I mean he's going to work on it a little bit, see what he can do. Dire getting the hint though. They had the ward, and they're just going to pick him right back off. Oh, Tiny throw going in. Tidehunter dropping the ultimate. They're going to get the Gyrocopter out of it. Are they going to go in for more? Pudge is going to pull one of them right back out. But the big fight going on off to the side. Nope. The Tiny is going to be thrown to the Tide. Is going to throw the Tidehunter right back in anyway. Sorry, Tide and Tiny. Pudge looks like he's going to drop, and he does. The Gyrocopter also going down. Dire chasing, seeing what they can come back out of this. Radiant up, still up 4 to.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I don't know. I think Radiant might just be. Dire is thinking we can still potentially take him. We were doing that before. Nope, they're backing up into the top lane. Juggernaut dropping his ult, taking out whoever he can. Is he going to get any kills? He's not, but Lion's going to make a pick off onto the Warlock, and he's going to get. Oh, He almost gets the Shadow Fiend if it wasn't for the Shadow Blade, or more specifically the bottle. We've got the Gyrocopter TPing in. He definitely wants to see if he can get this kill. The Shadow Fiend picking up a regen rune. He probably wants to go right back into this fight. The Gyrocopter getting the Tidehunter picked off, though, with a rocket. I need to figure out a better system with this mouse. The instant that it drops over the side, I lose everything I've got. So it's gonna take a little bit of a while to get used to. And his boogieing days were over. Yes, indeed, Tiny. All right, we got the Shadow Fiend going back into the lane. I'm surprised he hasn't popped his regen rune yet. I would think he'd want to be right back onto the full health as soon as possible, but there we go. All right, drops the Shadow Blade as well. Maybe gonna go in for this pick off on the Gyrocopter, but he's got a little bit of help. He's gonna get out of this if he decides to initiate. And they're not gonna see him. Is he gonna pick up the? Oh, Shadow Fiend's gonna grab the invisibility rune right out from underneath him. Very good play. Well done. And Omni Knight's like, I don't know what to do here, guys. I'm just gonna try things. And it's gonna hit him, but they don't. Oh, he gets the Warlock, and there goes the Warlock. He drops down. Dire and Shadow Fiend deciding to try and drop his ult. Not a very smart play. He gets turned into a frog. He's probably gonna. There he goes. Drops to the Lion again. Lion's starting to steal a lot of kills. Is he getting his? He's got his Ag, so he's got that AOE ult. Oh boy, that finger! It's so punishing. Everybody gonna go. You know, the Radiant just trying to recover whatever they can. They're down 526. They need to do something here. They've only got two. Oh, I'm staring at the wrong side of the map right now. Ursa picking up the Aegis, but unfortunately, Dire's just going to be like, you're getting nothing out of this. Sure, you got 200 gold and an Aegis, but we're going to just kill you twice. That was too easy. Radiant nowhere now around his buddy, and we've got the Lion. I heard it. Oh, he was just pushing the lane. All right, what did Tide pick up? It looks like he's working on a mechanism. Tiny finally getting a stick, and we've got the Warlock. He's got nothing special. He must be just their level. Excuse me, their position 5. So we've got the Tiny and the Shadow going right back into the fight, seeing whatever they can find. See if they can find that Warlock who's already left. In the meanwhile, we have the Gyro and the Omni Knight getting a little caught out of place. The Tidehunter potentially going to drop his ult. Let's see if he's going to do it. He gets the slow on him. The Omni Knight reversing to try and help him, but it might be too late. Come on, where was your initiation on your ult? That could have been an easy Gyrocopter kill. But and because of that, we've got a rocket coming and seeing if they can get on the Tiny or on the Tidehunter. Pudge taking out the top tier 1. And it hits the Tidehunter, but there's just no follow-up initiation, so nothing for them to really worry about other than losing a tower. Tiny going back to see what he can figure out with this in regards to this Pudge, though. Is he going to stun him? He's going to get him. He's going to throw him in, but Pudge is way too tanky. They fed him far too much. How many stacks does he have? He's got 18 stacks. He's got everything he could potentially need out of this right now. Tiny saying, let's not worry about this. There's nothing going to happen. Let's just go home. And Pudge more than willing to do so. We've got a 4 stack coming out of the bottom Radiant side. They're going to rotate mid. Maybe they're going to try and go for this pick. Let's see what they can figure out. Shadow Fiend dropping the Shadow Blade, doing a little bit of scouting. I don't know what he's going to find. Potentially we'll find the Juggernaut, but they're all backing out. He's probably gonna run out of that. Yeah. Yeah, so he knows how much he's worth right now. That Pudge, what's he even up to? Has he even died? He's died one time, 14-1. That's a fed Pudge, guys. He's got BKB and everything. So we've got 4 reallocating toward the mid lane, 5 all the way in the Dire side going to the mid lane, but Radiant's nowhere nearby. I don't know what the Warlock is. Oh, he's buying his mana boots. Got it. Okay, so are we going to have a little bit of a fight? Doesn't look so. Like the Warlock's going to go top, but he's going to get picked off. He's going to be found by the sentry, the observation ward. Shadow Fiend dropping down to the Pudge, and he looks like he's potentially going to find a second, especially because he's got the ward. They're looking for the Warlock. They know he's there, and he's going to find him. He's just going to ult right into him. Warlock's ability, his ult dropping, but for what? They're not going to find anything. Tiny being picked off by the Juggernaut. He's dropping as tanky as he is. Juggernaut getting the final hit on the Tiny. We've got 3 drop down on the side of the Radiant, all for the cost of a single gyrocopter, and they're gonna find the Ursa. There he goes as well. It just, for as many kills as they've got, I don't know if they're being cocky or if they're just refusing to push in lanes. They need to be pushing this in. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just because I'm the announcer and I get to see everything that's going on. But I would have loved to have seen a tier 2 drop down while the 4 of them were down. A 4th kill is nothing to be scoffed at. But at the same time, a tower's permanent, guys. So we've got a little bit of reinitiating coming up. The Pudge looking for a pick. See what he can find. He's probably going to shoot the hook on the Warlock. Maybe he's just out of... He's not out of range. Shadow Fiend dropping the Shadow... Oh, here comes the... Come on, Pudge. Help out your buddy. There he goes. He's going to get the hook on him. And the ultimate. He's a gone Shadow Fiend. Not a big deal. Ursa's just coming back into the fight, but they're picking at this tower. It's down 2/3, but Shadow Fiend feed. No kidding. There goes the Tide, and he's gonna drop. Is he? No, he doesn't have the mana or the ultimate up yet. Nonetheless, Tide's gonna go down to the Tiny, or down to the Lion. Excuse me. BKB for what? Pushing back into the mid lane, seeing if they can take on this tier. Nope. He wants to get another kill on the Warlock. And why wouldn't you? The rest of the team coming as quick as they can. Lion doing the stuns. Warlock about to drop. Gyrocopter not getting anything out of that. The ability is just switching right back out of it. Rocket's gonna drop. There it goes. Nice little 28 gold. Definitely worth it. Pudge taking out the tier 2 mid. And the... I believe the Aegis did drop. Gyrocopter getting the mini BKB from the Omni Knight. Rocket coming in, nice little 25 gold. Just, oh my gosh, such feed. The Dire Courier checking out when the Roshan's going to spawn. It's not going to come back up until the 8-minute mark, at very minimum. It looks like they're going to rotate all top for the Dire side, see if they can find this Tiny pick. Tiny deciding to fight, but that he doesn't know that's not a good move. Pudge getting the final hits on him. Lions stealing the kill, saying, screw you, team. This one's mine, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to push into the tier 2 mid. This is what I like to see. Get the kill, get the tower. Very well done there. So we've got a nice little push coming in from the top lane on the Dire side, and they're going to look for the Tidehunter. What is he doing way out here? This is so foolish. This isn't easy. Oh, there goes the ultimate popped. But for what? I mean, he's losing all of his mana. He doesn't even have a blink dagger to get back out of the fight. The Gyro's dropping the rocket. See what they can find out of it. Ursa picking off the Juggernaut in the meanwhile. So they're going to be down another 2 on the side of the Radiant. I don't know what Dire can do, or Radiant can do to get back into this fight. It's way too late. They're way too fed. Ursa getting picked off. Omni Knight. Oh, Omni Knight getting the Ursa pick. So, I mean, kills for everybody on the side of the Dire. Everybody having a good little time. The Ursa going in onto the bottom lane again, seeing if he can push at it in a little bit more. Not sure what they're backing for, other than the Shadow Fiend pushing in on the mid tower. I guess that would be why you push back in, wouldn't it be? They're not going to find him. He's going to juke all the way to the secret shop. Ooh, they got close with that courier. They could have potentially lost it. Is there anything on it? No, nothing on it. So, nice little reversal going back onto the Shadow Fiend there. We've got the Tiny and the Warlock going back up onto the top lane, pushing in toward the tier 2. But they're going to have to be a little careful lest we see a Dire rotate and another pick. Overall, Radiant's towers are now starting to drop like they should have been another 15 minutes or so in. Maybe that's a little too aggressive, but nonetheless, we're finally seeing 1 kill, 1 tower at very least. And we have...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm not sure what goodbye is. Yep. Alright. A little bit of humor coming out of the Warlock, but instead of being humorous, he should have just backed, maybe, like the Tiny. He's his face created. Nicely done. Tiny. Why do I keep switching those 2 up? Tiny staying back. He's in the trees, but he's not TPing out. He's wasting his time. He's not getting... Wow. Okay, so he's just... Okay, whatever. So we've got roughly 4.5... You know, we've got a 4.5 pushing back into the mid and bottom lanes on the Dire side. Tiny going right back to farming, seeing if he can push in this lane as best as he can, hoping for this tower, but you know, it's half down. I don't know if they're actually gonna get. They might get this tower out of it, especially because they got 5 pushing into the mid.
Is under attack.
So I would think the Tiny would want to rotate in, but he's getting his farm. He's probably just going to push back in. Tide probably going to drop his ult just in the mentality of slowing them down. Radiant is going for a very slow, tedious rat Dota. They're picking towers whenever they can, but overall, that's all they're really trying to do right now. And we're waiting for the Tidehunter ult. Nope, he's not going to do it. Pudge is going to get the kill on the Warlock, and there goes the Tidehunter. He gets the ult off first, but for what? A couple of them dropping. Juggernaut getting the kill on the Shadow Fiend. They're all low on health, but not a whole big deal going on. Ursa getting a couple kills actually. The Gyrocopter on the Lion. He's going back into this. Nope, there he goes back into this fight. They're working on the Ursa now, but Ursa still refusing to finish his Vladimir's. I'm not sure why. He's got 2,200 gold. That was a great little purchase on there. Ooh, Omni Knight saving his own skin with that, completely negating the damage from that tiny throw. The Pudge doing the mini keep BKB and the Rot going back into the middle lane. Trying, you know, just taunting and harassing the Tiny. We don't have anything else going on in any of the other lanes. The Omni Knight's pushing back up into the... Nope, he's just finishing his Scythe of Ice. Tiny doing his slow back onto the Pudge. He wants him, but what's he going to get out of this? Is he going to get anything at all? Juggernaut's going to come in and slow him down. A bunch of cuts coming in, but Tide's, you know, Tiny, he's just made it out of rocks. Oh, a missed hook. Just barely. Slow coming in on the Juggernaut, and he's going to get the kills. There he goes down. Finally, we're having a little bit of luck coming back on the side of the Radiant. They got the pick on the Juggernaut, and earlier the Lion went down. Almost got the Pudge. This could be... I'm afraid to say that this is going to be a little bit of a reversal, but I mean, they're down so much. Oh, they had dipped past the 10,000, almost 12,000 mark on the gold, and over 20,000 XP. Radiant's got a lot to cover here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ursa not working on his Vladimir's. Maybe he's just working on other things right now. He's got the lifesteal. Maybe he just doesn't need the rest of it. Gyro ult being popped for nothing. Ursa picking up the Aegis. Tidehunter getting right back out of the fight. I mean, it's still 4v5. Are they going to take the Aegis and push? We've got a reversal coming back on the Shadow Fiend for the bottom lane. So, a lot of backs, a lot of reversals, except for the Dire. They're ready to go back into the fight. They want one more shot at this. Juggernaut back into the fight. Is he going to TP? He's not going to TP. He's got the refresher. I heard the refresher earlier. Interesting. Getting a lot of jumps. Wow. 24 jumps. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. He's ready just to kill everything. Let's see. I would love to see that in action now. See if I can get it on camera better. Shadow Fiend coming around for the gank, and Pudge not getting anything with his hook. Offensive wards coming in. Shadow Fiend just still, he's checking everything out, but if he doesn't get out soon, he's going to get spotted out. Tidehunter coming in. He doesn't have a blink dagger. He's got his ult up, so I would love to see a little bit of an initiation, especially because everybody's here. Let's see if we can get a nice little fight. Shadow Fiend ready to go. He's got an empty bottle though. Not sure how that actually relates to anything, but potentially he's finishing up his Desolator. We've got, okay, here comes the Tidon, and everybody gets hit. And here comes the Shadow Fiend, and everybody's melting! We've got 2 dropping down on the side of the Dire, Pudge dropping, Gyro dropping, Lion dropping, and they're going to get the kill on the Juggernaut. Well done, Radiant. Great push. And now we're going to have an immediate reversal going back into the middle lane. Very well done. Here comes that late game aggression that I was looking for earlier. And the Dire's clutch is, they're losing. They weren't able to get any of the towers, or they weren't pushing any of the towers earlier like they should have been, and now it's costing them. They've only got tier 2s. They force a buyback out of the Pudge, but for what? He's not going to be able to solo these guys, especially with a Tiny. He's way too fed right now. This is just going to be the end of the game They're going to push right back in. They took the first tier 3, and they're even going to get the first racks out of this. Pudge grabbing onto the Shadow Fiend, but he's not going to get the kill. Actually, he's going to get the kill. The Shadow Fiend dropping down. The Pudge is just so tanky. He's got 4k health. No gold out of it, though. Well, actually, he gets the kill gold, but that's it. Great little push back out of him, and the Pudge is begging for more. The Tiny TPing back home. Well done for the side of the Radiant. Potentially, the next thing that they should have done is rotate to the top lane and finish off this tier 2 mid, but maybe that's just me. Would have loved to have seen a little bit more of that. But nonetheless, Radiant ready to take a step back, you know, be happy in what they've accomplished, earn a little bit more gold and CS, push the lanes back out, and just take a breather. Nonetheless, the Ursa's only got his Aegis for another 3 minutes. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more fighting, especially because Radiant's ready to fight back and start winning these fights. They melted so much. That was such a beautiful initiation earlier with the Tide and the Tiny. Yes, I got it right. The Tide and the Tiny. Oh, the Juggernaut getting the Medallion of Courage. Potentially going to be using that on a Roshan very soon. Well, no, I guess that would be another 7 minutes at best, wouldn't it be? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5 more minutes. Only an 8-minute Roshan. 4 little push coming back in. Looks like they're going to go right back into the same mistake they had before, but the Warlock picking up a smoke at a seat. They want to do this again, especially because they're hiding all behind the tree line again. They have no sight. Dire sees nothing. Are they going to go in for the Roshan pit? Is that what they were thinking? Nope. Okay, good. I was hoping that wasn't their intention. They're doing a nice little smoke gang. See what they can find. They're not going to get juked, or they're not going to get tricked again into the radiant tree line. Not going to find anything, though. I'm a little surprised that they didn't spot it out earlier, especially because they have a ward. I mean, they didn't see anybody. Why would they go into it? But hey, or no, that's a Dire ward. Excuse me. Yeah, they are Dire. I'm confused. Do I have my sides backwards? I think I might have the sides reversed. Radiant coming in with the smoke gank. No, it's a reverse smoke gank, because the other one would have died off by now. So we have a double smoke gank, and Radiant's just wore off. Dire a little far in. They're gonna get reversed. Here comes the Tiny. He's gonna. Oh, Tidehunter all getting popped finally, and the Juggernaut dropping his double ult potentially, and yep, he definitely tried to do it, but not enough going on. Dire dropping like flies, and Shadow Fiend dropping, but doesn't matter. So does the Warlock. Gyrocopter getting a couple of the kills. Radiant getting right back into this fight. Team wipe for the Radiant. Well done, Radiant. Tiny getting 2 kills out of it, and there's even a gem on the ground. We've got the Warlock. No, we've got the Tiny. Nobody wants to pick up the gem. Nobody grabbed it. Okay then, whatever. I need to figure out how to draw on the map. Oh, there we go. There's the Ursa. He wants it. No, he doesn't. Is he going to do anything with it? He's got full inventory. He can't do anything. He can't destroy it. Either way, we got a big push coming back onto the bottom lane. I mean, why not? The best you're going to get is another 10 seconds till just the Omni Knight comes back into the fight. So, no back. We got backdoor protection, so they're just going to have to wait. Ooh, creeps all the way back. There's nothing they can do about that split push. Doesn't matter. Mid lane getting pushed in hard by the super creeps. I guess this is the term. Mega melee creep, but we have. I don't like that term. I'm going to call them the super creeps. We got a big push coming back in from the mid, just from those wards, or from the creeps. Tidehunter pushing back onto the middle, and I don't know. It's definitely, Radiant is unstoppable at this point. Dire got a lucky 3 kills out of that, as far as I'm concerned, especially with the way that the Radiant has been throwing the Tidehunter right into the fight. That was. I guess I'm fanboying it up a little bit here. Finally, Tidehunter getting his Blink Dagger. Well deserved. No more tiny throws, although those were fun. Not gonna lie. But at least they don't have to rely on that anymore. Dire doing whatever they can to get the super creeps off of their towers. Look at the damage that they did. They're both half down. So all the Radiant have to do is just push back into that lane, and everything's gonna go great. All they need is one big team fight, and I'm willing to say this game is over. So we've got the Radiant all conglomerating back into the middle lane. We're going to start pushing back in, potentially. We've got only the Omni Knight mid. Everybody's... I don't know what's going on. What are they waiting for? Maybe they're just giving up. I don't know. I would like to see the Dire fight this through. Not to say that they can't win this. I don't know. I don't know if Dire can win this, especially with that the Titan Tiny and Ursa. That's a lot of damage coming right at them. So I guess we'll have to see what the Dire is able to pick out of this right now. Nonetheless, Tide Hunter, everybody's just working on their farm. Alright, we've got a little bit of a smoke gank coming up from the Warlock. They're ready to go in on this. Waiting for the creep to come in and drop it. Oh, he's even got wards. So, definitely a lot of vision coming in ready. And smoke coming up on 3 of them. They don't have the Aegis anymore. We've got a 4 push coming in on the bottom lane, or in the mid lane. Smoke is still concealing the Tiny, but he's so far ahead of everybody else. It's like a loss of a communication. Nobody wanted to actually go in on this fight, except for the Tiny. Tiny gonna go ahead and just, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna check out on the Roshan. Not yet. You still got a little while to go, buddy. Excuse me. Wasted smoke gank attempt. Radiant dropping a ward on the Rune Spire. Everybody just kind of retreating. Kind of not a whole lot going on right now. We got the Pudge pushing back into the top lane, but for the most part, everybody on the Radiant side just keeping back and doing what they can in the middle lane. There's a little bit of pressure because of the super creeps, but ultimately, I mean, as long as they keep pushing back into the middle lane, those 2 mid towers are going to be just fine. The tier 4s, they're going to have to last. But I'm also speaking in hypotheticals, depending on whether or not there aren't any more fights in the rest of this time. Because I don't know why Radiant aren't pushing in. They've got so much damage, and all they're doing is giving the Dire a chance to farm up and see if they can stay into this game. I don't know what they're waiting on. I mean, they tried the smoke gank, but there wasn't a lot of cooperation out of it. They just keep going right back to farming. Pudge picking up a Blade Mail, and maybe the Dire want to try something now. We've got a Roshan respawn here in just a minute. So looks like Warlock wants to check out. Oh, he's gonna get caught by the Pudge. Starts out with the ultimate, and here comes the BKB drops. Gyrocopter dropping his ultimate, the Tidehunter dropping his ultimate. The Ursa looking like he's gonna be the first one to drop here in just a moment. No, the Lion takes out the Tidehunter. And here we go, Radiant Dire starting to come back into this fight. They take out 2, they're about to take out the Ursa. And here we go, some more fighting right on top of the Juggernaut. He's about to drop. Nah, he gets a feeble something. I don't know. Warlock takes out the Juggernaut. There he goes. Juggernaut, Shadow Fiend being taken out of the Pudge. What a play! Well done. Nonetheless, the Warlock is going to try and finish off this Pudge as best as he can. I don't know if he's going to get him. Well done. He tried to get him out, but not all. I mean, well done. Dire still taking 4, but they got 3 out of it. It's close. It's close. Dire showing that they still got a lot of damage going in out of this, but unfortunately, did the Ursa go down? I think the Ursa went down. I think the Ursa went down. He might have just respawned, or maybe he just TP'd back. He's got a lot of gold. I'm willing to bet he didn't drop. I think he did okay. Tidehunter just spawning back up. We've got 4 up on the side of Radiant. This is when they want to push in. And this Warlock agrees. He's going to try and do what he can. Push back into this middle lane. Dire's tower's getting hit, but the Omni Knight, you know, he had to make some space. Tidy working on that tier 3 as best as he can, but he's ultimately going to back. I'm not sure why. Maybe he just... no reason to risk it, I suppose. But ultimately, he had all that pushed in. Excuse me. Warlock mid, Tide and Ursa top lane. Not a whole lot of potential pressure coming back in on the Dire side, so I would like to see a little bit more of a push. Tide doing what he can on that lane. He's got almost 3 grand health, but oh, he's working on a not an Aghanims. He's got the Ags, of course. I'm sorry, the Assault Cuirass. Finishing that. Yep, he just finished, and it's coming out to him now. A lot of defense coming up on the Tiny now. That's going to be, oh boy, that's a lot of defense. Well done there. Ursa going back onto the Roshan, and he's going to get him. Ursa, what's he going to, he dropped the TP scroll. And is Dire going to be able to do anything about this? I don't think they are. There we go, and Cheese gets left behind. Nobody wants to eat the food. We got the Pudge. He gets the pick off on the Warlock, though. Not sure why he was so far out of position. Ursa trying to get out as best as he can. He's got the speed going on, but he'll be fine. We've got the Shadow Fiend just going right back to farming again, but hopefully they do something with his agent now. Ursa pushing back into the bottom lane, see if they can push all the way up into that tier 3. Everybody having to focus in on the mid lane now. We've got on the Dire side an invisibility rune at the top, but not sure exactly what they're looking for. But unfortunately, they're just forced to 5-man. We've got the Juggernaut. Oh, Juggernaut finds the cheese. Interesting. That's not going to be good, especially because he's got that. He's got the double ult, and the Ursa just nope, and right back out. All right, we've got 20 minutes until we've got to get this all finished up. The Ursa getting right back out, but the Gyrocopter saying, no, we want more of you. Trying to push right back in. What are they going to do? I don't know what they're going to do with this. Nothing, unfortunately. Everybody's just going to go ahead and back out of this. Juggernaut finally taking the hint just to see what kind of farm he can get. I can't wait to see that cheese ult. Cheese refresher ult going on right now on the Juggernaut. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. 24 jumps. Pudge getting the hook on the Ursa. Free kill on that Ursa. Oh, nope, not just yet. We got a Aegis pop, and they're more than happy with that. They're all just going to right back out of this. And the Radiant just going to take the rest of that farm. Take a couple steps back. We've got the Gyrocopter finding the DD rune on the bottom lane. No gem, unfortunately, but he does have a butterfly. So a lot of damage, a lot of quick damage, but we'll see. I don't know, not as much. He's got a lot of attack speed, but I'd like to see a bit more damage going on to him. They don't have a whole lot of survivability against that Tide and Tiny ult. So it's just waiting, I guess. We'll see what happens. Did I hear gem? I feel like I heard a gem. Ring Basilius just dropping in. Alright, we've got a big rotation coming back into the middle lane. Tiny ready for a fight. We've got a big push coming back in on the side of the Dire. They want to try something, especially with this DD rune. They know that the Ursa doesn't have the Aegis anymore, so this is really their best shot, but not everybody is nearby. They gotta, well, no, they're just going to play safe. They're all going to back. They got everything pushed back in, but if Dire wants any chance out of this, I would love to see them start out with a equalizing the barracks. And there we go. There goes the Tide Hunter ult. The Tiny's starting to pick off the Omni Knight. There he drops first. Excuse me. Yeah, no, Juggernaut dropping, not the Omni Knight. All right, we've got the everybody going. Lion picking off nobody. Ursa getting the Lion finally. A lot of fire coming in on the Warlock, but nobody else really dropping. Is very slow. Finally, the Dire is starting to drop, and the Radiant's just going to go for the rest of the picks. They get 3. No, the Omni Knight still gets out. Very interesting. Oh, here he goes. He's running way up there. Shadow Fiend seeing if he can find anybody out of this right now. Getting out, but I mean, this is all the opportunity the Radiant need to push all the way back in. They're going to see if they can get a tier 4 out of this. Pudge not being able to do a whole lot out of this. He's got nothing. Nothing that's going to be able to stop all of this anyway. He might be able to pull him off of the towers, but for what? Is he going to die for that? Probably. I would think so. The popping onto the Glyph of Fortification and waiting for this tier 4 to drop. Is it going to happen? He gets the hook onto the Warlock. He's going to get the kill, but they finally get the tier 4 out of it. Pudge getting the Warlock. Lion trying to get the kill. And here we go. Here comes the ults. And we have a refresher, but not enough mana for it, unfortunately. He'll be doing it again soon. But it looks like they're going to get the other tier 4 out of this one. Nope, not enough. Oh, here we go. Here's the rest of the creep wave. They're going to push back into this, and that's a dead tower. Nope. The Gyrocopter gets there just in time to finish off the rest of that kill. A little disappointed. I think they could have taken a little bit more if they would have just pushed in a bit harder. But we've got a big push on the top lane as well. That's a lot of creeps for not being super creeps. Roshan coming back up into the 6-minute mark. We've still got yet another big push coming in from the super creeps in mid lane. So overall, Radiant just trying to lick their wounds, get their tide back and up as soon as possible, especially because that Warlock just got picked off to the Pudge. A little bit of sloppy play. I don't know what they were thinking. Towers first, kill second in my eyes, but that's also just me. Pudge missing, not finding anything. We got another 3.5 minutes until the Roshan comes back up. Not sure, unless, I mean, it looks like Pudge is not, the Dire side is not properly timing when the Roshan would be returning back in. Ursa getting a Scotty. Little bit of damage over time and a nice little slow coming out of his attacks now. A lot of points going into his attributes. Attributes is the word I was looking for. That's a lot of attributes. So big damage coming out. I'm not sure why he hasn't finished his Vladimir's yet. That's a lot of lifesteal they could have right now. Ursa, you are killing me right now, buddy. Come on, finish that. So, a lot of pressure getting pushed right back into the middle lane. Momentum being pushed back into the side of the Radiant. Especially because they've got 2 down now. 2 sets of racks. I missed that, and I feel really bad. I had no idea that they actually took a second racks out of that, but I don't know. That would have been a smarter call. They didn't get the second tier 4 out of it. They wouldn't have won the game out of that last kill. So, you know what? A second racks was smarter. They made a better decision than I was able to think of, and so well done on the side of the Radiant. Well done. Everybody going right back to farming, though. Ursa, what's he chasing? He's going a little slow. I'm surprised he's not blinking back in. But it looks like Radiant's just kind of taking a couple steps back. Hopefully this match finishes in the next 15 minutes or so. Ursa going back in toward the... Nope, Ancient Camp? Okay. Just trying to see what he can spot out. Omni Knight trying to push in the lane. Helping out the Juggernaut. Excuse me. Let's take a quick look at the graphs before everything starts to go fight. The Radiant starting to get they've got a massive lead, over 15,000 gold going on, and yep, the experience is absolutely on their favor right now. A lot of dips. Look at that reversal. Very interesting. Dire taking one more chance at this, especially because Radiant is just not taking advantage of their opportunities. I mean, why would they? Take a look at the bottom lane. There's not a whole lot of time left until the Dire is going to be forced to back out. But they all, it looks like a few of them have TP scrolls. Tidehunter ult going out, starting up the fight. Here comes the Juggernaut ult. There goes the Pudge. He's dropping like a fly. Lion ult starting to go off, but finally the Gyrocopter drops. The Tidehunter drops. Shadow Fiend gets picked off before the ultimate goes off. No, Shadow Fiend's ult, it just gets stopped. But there goes the Omni Knight. There goes the Lion, and good game is called because there's no time left, unfortunately. They've got the game, and well done, Radiant, and very good job. There's nothing that the Dire can do. Well done, Radiant. Game over. I'm not so sure about a comeback. They absolutely had the late game potential, and they took advantage of it. Dire just didn't have the late game. They had the early game. I think they could have done a little bit better if they would have pushed in on those towers like I was hoping. Ultimately, every time they did a team wipe, or at least a 3 or 4 kill out of it, they didn't take a tower. They took all of the tier 2s, but come on, guys. They could have been potentially if they would have really stuck to their guns and gotten a little bit of luck, they might have even gotten an early barracks out of that. So, they had a lot of kills, but ultimately I feel like that was a little bit of a missed opportunity on the side of the Dire, and they just let the massive late game potential on the Radiant just come back for a very easy, very well earned win. So once again, well done, Radiant, and my name is Ninja Chris, and I hope you enjoyed my cast. I will see you all soon.